Hello, Leo, and welcome to your March 2024 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is going to help you with all of the energy and opportunities in the month ahead, and you can always use it for sun, rising, and moon. Let's get started with channeled messages, the first of which was really a beautiful symbol, actually. I was shown a table that was wobbling a bit, and I felt that just with a little bit of TLC, we could get that into the energy of what you see here, the Four of Wands, because this is one of the ways that Spirit will indicate relationships and stability and balance overall. So there could be any number of things that are taking that one leg and putting them out of balance. It could be the amount of time and energy you're putting into work, or the lack of attention you're giving to your own needs and your own sort of just well-being. So this is a month where all the different parts of your life need to come into focus, and you're not sort of sacrificing one for the benefit of the other. If there is anything that is causing or exacerbating some of those imbalances, this is the time to put the focus there, because it feels like Spirit wants someone to come and join you at that table: partnership, friendship, or love. The Four of Wands is all of these things, and again, I was just focusing on the four legs of the table, which reminds me of that card. All right, next message. Spirit lifted up a rock. It also showed me someone kind of peering out from behind the curtains. So this is revelation energy, and it's basically also asking you to look or scratch beneath the surface so that you can get to the details, to the truth of something. The Moon card is one where sometimes we have to face a fear or an uncertainty. Oftentimes we have to overcome a challenge in front of us where someone else is trying to get away with it, but you basically say, no, we've got to look and deal with this. And so you could be the one that's pulling the curtains back to see what the source of any sort of challenge in front of you might be. Ultimately, it is a card of empowerment. The moon is something that reins in the tides. So you have the capacity this month to face a fear, manage some sort of a challenge, and reclaim your power at the end of the day. And finally, Spirit just showed me someone putting their hands on the solar plexus area. This is beautiful energy because it connects us to the sun. So it can be birthing, it can be releasing. It's also about power and confidence. However, if there's any imbalance in this, there could be, for some of you, a disruption in that space. So you may be feeling difficulty in digestion. There could also be like just nerves that are centering in that space, like butterflies or whatever. For some of you, it's also saying pay attention to diet, what you're putting into your body. So this card will be a little bit different, or this slide, I should say, will be a little bit different for each of you. But we really want to focus on solar plexus strengthening as well. So in any of your exercise or breathing activities, make sure that you're activating the core. And that, my friends, brings us into the main part of this reading. So let's turn the camera down, shuffle the cards, and see what's in store. As I said earlier, this can be used for sun, rising, and moon sign, and we will take a look at all of those towards the end of the forecast. So I do hope you stick around. There we go, with beautiful synchronicity in the Four of Wands. We'll see if we get any other connections to what I was talking about earlier. We did get another one. The High Priestess looking from behind the curtains. All right, let me just get everything arranged. We'll expand it and then we'll begin. Let's begin. We're going to start off with the Catalyst energy. The card came through in reverse, and it's titled Wise Salt. And if you read the book, it's about wisdom and alchemy. Now, The first thing I get when I look at this, especially when it's reverse, is to take things with a grain of salt, especially for someone who might claim to be an expert or know what they're talking about. And you have that intuition that you might need to dig a little deeper. So this is really begging you to trust that intuition here, because we got the High Priestess in reverse. We don't want you to second guess yourself. And this is about kind of following through on what we talked about in channeled messages. Make sure no rock is left unturned. Look at all the details. Ask for sources. Do your own research and make sure that you have the same sort of understanding and agreement that this person seems to want to bring forth here. And because this is upside down, it's kind of like spilled salt as well, which can be a protective sort of ceremonial type thing too. So one thing that I see here for some of you is just a chance to really put some boundaries, limits, and protections in place. This could be legal, contractual, etc. And if we look at this a little closely, one other thing that I see, depending on where this is at, it almost looks like it's a do not sort of symbol when it's on the side here. So again, it's making sure that you're avoiding extremes. Anyone that says, my way or no way, that may be a chance for you to pause and say, I need to look in a different direction. Let's glance at the cards now and see just the overall energy this month. Empowerment here, because we have in the near future the Empress, and then clarity of vision as the outcome. So I really like these as near future and outcome cards. We actually see opportunity, partnership, love, romance, more people coming into your life. It's actually a pretty good spread overall. So let's just take it card by card. We'll start off with a seed that has been planted here at the center, the Ace of Pentacles. One of the more lush and gorgeous pictures of the Ace of Pentacles. We also see that it takes time and it takes a little bit of nurturing and TLC for an idea to come to fruition. So one of the most important things to do this month is to not rush it. We have in the, as we look here in Hopes, Fears, and Opportunities, a fast snail on the chariot. But it is about, I think, ebbs and flows here. So, how quickly something grows this month or how quickly an opportunity kind of pays off, it's not as important as the fact that you're doing something that's sustainable, that you're keeping the integrity of the vision, and that you're continuing to put the energy in it because you believe in it and you want to see something come through. So don't rush to the finish line and don't rush simply to, please somebody. It's important to see it through to your own standards. There could be an offer that's been put on the table for some of you. This can represent an invitation, a job opportunity, money that's coming in, an idea that you could use to create all of these things. It's just a great potential card at the center, and it's just about following through on the potential, okay? It can also be an invitation in love or marriage, especially because right on top of it is the Four of Wands. And we have, some interesting energy here with all of this, because this can be passion, this is partnership, and this is deciding, are we going to keep it where it's at or are we going to take it to the next level? Some of you are in that sort of decision point. And the thing is, this isn't just love. It can be any kind of partnership, a friendship, a business engagement, or love. Four of Wands, I talked about it. There's something that needs to be stabilized first, but the potential and the energy, it came through for me right there in the third eye, and I'm seeing it in the cards now too. So if we put the two messages together, there's something that could be sort of lacking in the balance of your life. I'm going to pull up the initial card that I had here because it's super synchronistic that we got the two. So what I wrote about earlier was it could be work, life, or health that's kind of out of balance. And once you figure out how to create balance in that sort of section of your life, you're going to open yourself up for this upgrade. Love, friendship, partnership, and firm foundations upon which you can build just about anything. And again, taking it one step at a time and just making sure that this is something sustainable and that you're not rushing it. So important in relationships. You can say, yes, I'm serious, but you do not have to immediately sell your house, move in, go across. You can take it one step at a time. And that's what we see here is if it's meant to last and if the two of you are feeling the same things, you'll take your time and do it right the first time. But I love that this is also a super magnetic energy. So if we take this for those of you that are entrepreneurs, this can be a business idea or an opportunity. And this is how it's being received with open arms. And it's also showing that you're attracting higher partnerships and people that are vibing with exactly what you're trying to put out there. March to the beat of your own drum, literally. We can take it at face value in the deep past. That's the karmic lesson. And it's okay sometimes to be the King of Wands reversed. He's willing to face the fire, walk through that and be unscathed. So sometimes that fire can be people, giving you sort of a hard time or critiquing you, sometimes even unfairly, because when there's something that's truly, what's the best word, like revolutionary or ahead of its time, a lot of times it gets panned critically just because people don't know how, they don't have a frame of reference. So this card is just encouraging you to be true to your vision, to march to the beat of your own drum, and to face that sort of energy without fear or taking it too seriously sometimes, because you're never going to make everybody happy, right? Keeping an open mind is key to developing new friendships and ideas. So if we take it out of the frame of you trying to do something, it could just be that sometimes when you're not open to meeting someone or even meeting an opportunity in a certain space, you might miss that. So this is also asking you to slow down. The snail is in reverse. It's saying, take it slow, focus on this moment. You might have more in front of you than you thought. That's also nicely connected with pulling back the curtains, which we did get here, and also lifting up the stone. And by the way, stones are pentacles because it's earth. So this is saying, look a little closer and the opportunity could be richer than you anticipated. Because I'm also getting a diamond in my mind as I'm talking about this. So the clarity of the vision, but also like it could be richer. There could be more coming through for you. Multifaceted too. So that might be the challenge for some of you, is just showing people like all the dimensions to some sort of an idea or opportunity. Be strategic. Don't get lost in the minutia here of, trying to compete with other people or trying to prove who's right or wrong. The Five of Wands is typically a waste of time when it's traditionally illustrated, because you'll see everyone pushing their sort of wand against each other and they're not making progress. It's kind of like a stalemate. What we see here, though, is the antithesis of that, and she is strategically moving and also deciding when not to move or when to sort of like, this isn't worth it, this is. Everything has to align with your strategy, and not just your strategy for the short-term win. She's thinking 2, 3, 4 moves from now so she can get that checkmate. So that's what you really have to consider, is the long game. And someone else may be getting a short-term gain or win, but they're going to be out of the picture in a year or 2 or 3, and you'll still be playing. And that's what I'm picking up here. Work smarter, not harder. Avoid unnecessary competition, and don't get mired down in sort of like all the little details that sometimes is the Five of Wands. And that's everything I have to say for that. This is going to free you up to enjoy what we saw here, which could be an invitation for something bigger, better, brighter. Also, this is an important time for you to get out there. For those of you that have been spending time in a little bit of a hermit mode or more just sort of with your core group of friends or family, this is saying make sure that you're also mixing and mingling. It's good on all levels. New friendships, new business opportunities, new love for those that are single and looking. This can also be a spark, reigniting a spark with anybody in your life, a creative spark, a romantic spark, or again, just checking in with a friend and having a good laugh, having a good time. 3 of Cups is fun. When was the last time you had a really, really good time? Put it on the calendar, especially with the people that you trust the most, okay? In courtship, this can be something that has just presented itself. And again, the main message here is try to slow down and don't try to control it too much. You have to kind of let things reveal and develop in their own time, particularly if you're trying to kind of get the energy and vibe of somebody. You don't want to push that. You don't want to force it. This is a great time for networking and dating and just connecting overall. As we look at near future, this is the reclamation of power. So I talked a little bit about that with the solar plexus message. The Empress in reverse is 100% aligned with that because she's the penultimate card of control, right up there with the Emperor. And she's one of the ultimate cards when it comes to just development and creation. She's at the top of all the queens in tarot. She is all about birthing, creating, nurturing, and fostering. And when it's reversed, it's saying, when was the last time you did that for yourself? We can even see that energy of birth or rebirth here. And when it's reversed, that's often what I look at this as, is a chance to reform, recreate, reimagine. So any of the cards of creation or destruction, so we could put Death or the Tower in the same category. When they're reversed, it's saying there might be a better approach to this. So take some time, look inward, and I can feel it again right here. I can feel an activation in my solar plexus. There could be something in your life that you're just ready to birth. It's not always the baby that we see on that card. It can be launching a business. It can be beginning or leaving a relationship or a job. It can also be a decision that, if I don't do this step in my life, creatively, personally, then when? And that's why I feel the activation. And it almost feels, again, like I just got punched in the stomach, or I have a little bit of indigestion. It's a tightness, like a ringing. So what I would say first and foremost is breathe. I'm going to do that with you. Already feels better. And just say to yourself that you've got this, that you're going to make an effort each day this week to take care of yourself and to take a step towards that goal or that vision, okay? And it's also saying that you don't need anyone else to help you. You've got this. I mean, you can lean on support, but there is this encouragement to never underestimate your own vision or power, okay? Because this is vision, this is power. They're both reversed, but you do have it. You might just need to tune in today to feel it, but I can see it here. Here's how you're showing up. 7 of Pentacles. You've done a lot of work to get where you're at, and this is a card of growth and improvement, but it is a reminder not to overextend. The previous card is about the scales of balance. Usually we see coins and a scale and a lot of hands that are reaching out and saying, give me more. And what you have to say is a little bit here, but no to that, and don't forget about yourself. So don't overextend, be frugal when necessary, and be patient too. We can see her reaping the rewards here. There are things that are just ready to come to fruition, just ready for harvest, but you don't want to kind of harvest that apple before it's ripe. So just like that ace at the center, there's something developmental. Same thing with this baby. That baby's going to come when it's ready. We can't force the due date here. So that's the only thing that I can say with this is don't overextend and don't push something to the finish line and if it's not there. Kind of a better example would be like cooking. If you take something out that isn't done, like a cake, it's raw, it's runny, it won't be edible. It's probably not even something you want to put in your stomach. So take your time. The good thing though with this is it feels like you're on the positive side of if you're over the hump here when it comes to a difficult lesson in finances or resources or empowerment. So don't give up. The environment's really exciting actually. So we have the World card. It's in reverse, and this shows a rapid change. Some of you are maybe kind of like, this could be where I'm kind of feeling the butterflies or the nerves, and you're thinking, I was ready, but I wasn't ready today. So that old phrase, be careful what you wish for. I would say no, just be ready for it to happen a lot sooner than anticipated. So if you've been wishing for love, wanting an opportunity to step up and work, if you wish you had more recognition, whatever the wish is, it feels like it takes you by surprise. There's also an encouragement to look beyond where you're at. So the world upside down can be saying, have you thought about looking over there or looking at it from this perspective or moving? This is saying that perhaps you didn't have a lot of say in the matter. In order to get to the next level in love or work, there's a necessary moving out or moving in. It's beneficial. It looks like it's going to pay off, but the speed with which it's happening surprised you, and it's almost like you have to catch your breath. So there you go. There's a little bit of an opportunity for either cleaning, renovation, or reorganization. It's not like, oh no, you have to do it. It's more like that could give you the balance that I was seeing lacking on that table that represented the Four of Wands. So if you need to do a little bit of adjustment to your spaces, and there are multiple spaces in today's lifestyle. There's the digital space. So this could be cleaning up your devices. It's the physical space as well. Your car and your office, all of these places where we spend time, just clean it up or reorganize it. Like when I talk about the digital space for professionals out there, it's a new website. It could be changing up your social media and the way you're presenting yourself and all of that. So think imaginatively. These are very old symbols that are being adapted to a new world, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. Your projection in all of these spaces getting an upgrade, and one or more of those upgrades happening kind of like in tandem, and pretty exciting overall. This is a card also of publication, distribution, and expansion on all levels. So this idea, like I said, it can go much faster and bigger than you might have originally anticipated. And that's actually good. It's just about wrapping your head around it, right? So now we're going to take a look at hopes, fears, and opportunities, if I can get the card to, to get off the table here. All right, so we have the Chariot in reverse. The Chariot in this particular deck is a snail. For those of you that remember that old 1980s movie called The Neverending Story, there's a guy that, I think it's based off a German story of the same name, like a book. But anyway, there's a guy that rides a really fast snail. So it was kind of like oxymoron. It's not what it seems. And that's kind of what I see here is there's something that is going to happen faster or slower, and Spirit's asking you to move with that. Don't fight that. Focus instead on what you can control, because this is a card of control and direction, and put your energy there. Slow down, get a sort of lay for the land, and you'll be able to make up for lost time later. This is also the solar plexus energy that I've been feeling. So the tug of war, it's not just the Empress card or the Sun card. It can also be the Chariot. It's someone trying to pull the reins. And so you may be asked, first of all, someone could challenge your decision-making process. They'll say, why should I listen to you? Or, are you sure? Or, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. Any number of things could come through to test your resolve. And if we were to take these two cards upright, she would say, no, this is what I want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. She'll find a way to present it with calm, with clarity, and with basically constructive and clear data points as well. So stick to the facts. That'll help you. Don't get emotional. Just stick to the facts. Because at the center, we have one of the most grounded cards we could have here with the Ace of Pentacles. And it's coming from a good place too, all right? Looking now at, by the way, before we get into the outcome, this can also be resistance to travel. We have two cards of travel and movement, and we have a card of delivery, and they're all reversed. Again, it feels like it's time, folks. You can do this. It's just there's something internally that's kind of causing you to hesitate when I don't really feel like there's a need for hesitation. Now we have one of the most powerful cards, even though it's not the highest card. It's where everything really begins to get exciting. The High Priestess is the seer, the oracle, the one that basically takes all of the tools of the magician and she knows exactly how to use them. So this is your chance to pull back the curtains and say, I see the path, I know the way. She was starting to kind of reveal herself here where she was seeing one or two steps ahead, but now the sky is the limit. If you're ready and you're willing to reach for that vision, etc. This can represent in your life an inkling, a feeling, a gut instinct where you think absolutely yes or absolutely no. And I want you to trust yourself. That's the most important thing. That's why we show up every month, Leo. It's just to really, affirm a lot of what your own intuition is and help you see it also through the cards. You are lighting up in that third eye and the crown chakra. So trust in your visions, your downloads, your ideas, and ultimately in your capacity too, because we have the Empress there. Let's move on now. We're going to take a look now at your, we're going to do the expanded forecast, which is health, wealth, love, and destiny. And we're going to start off first with the health card, which you just saw here. And it is the Empress yet again in reverse. So the maiden card, we can actually see that pregnant belly one more time. So the fact that I've seen it twice, for some of you, if you're trying to get pregnant, this energy is coming through and it's saying it could take a couple of attempts or tries, particularly if you're doing IVF. There could be twins. There could be a couple of interesting moments here with it. There also might be, we're looking at the positioning of the baby. So obviously work with your healthcare professional with that. The good news though is we see an affirmative or a positive outcome. It's just about taking control and basically putting attention to that part of your life. For the rest of us, it's exactly what I was talking about way back at the beginning with the solar plexus, because this birthing energy, if you're holding on to something that you haven't had a chance to release to the world, it shows up in unexpected ways. Again, sometimes it's nerves, sometimes it's anxiety. I put this baby card because I'm like, get the baby out, the sun card. So if there's something flaring up here, pay attention to diet, stress management, and then taking steps to create that which you want to create. And then all of these sort of Empress energies that we're seeing here will have a chance to let go and to focus on what matters most. Let's take a look now just at the general cards and see if there's anything else that is coming through here. A move for the better, change for the better, and change that is happening, perhaps the speed is out of your control. And the one thing, again, that comes through is to embrace the change and know that whether it's happening quicker or slower than anticipated, you'll be okay. There's just this general sort of energy around spirit saying, take a deep breath, focus on what you can control, and then just lean into the change and trust. Trust that you've done all of the other work to be all right. Slowing down when it comes to recovery, because this is a card of rebuilding and recovery. This is slowing down. So for those of you that are trying to rehabilitate, or you're basically doing a little bit of rebuilding in your life, whether it's in your health or your finances, you just have to take your time there. All of those wounds can heal, but they can't heal overnight. So again, with this flare-up, I would almost never get this. This is like the eardrum. For some of you, it could be tinnitus. It's a weird combination that I'm getting here. So that's something that you'd want to go to ear, nose, and throat specialist. They could probably get you a hearing test and see what's going on with that. But I'm actually getting tinnitus. It's a very bizarre symbol connection there. But if that's happening, there's any number of things that could be going on. You obviously want to get that checked out as well. Three of Cups is just reminding you to have fun, but not to overdo it. Again, pregnancy, unexpected pregnancy, possibly twins for some of you, or just some difficulties. And because I keep getting like stress indications here, you want to focus on taking care of yourself first, getting as healthy as possible before putting the energy in the pregnancy. Then it's going to just be like those 4 wands. You'll be able to sustain the pregnancy to full term. Let's see if there's anything else that we should talk about. Just possibly changing or upgrading your living environment. You might have outgrown where you're at. It's kind of like a plant or a fish. There comes a point where they're kind of like wanting something bigger to stretch and to swim and to see what's out there. And I feel like some of you may be in that same sort of general vicinity. Last message, get a second opinion if you need it. The Empress in reverse, like I said, leave no stone unturned. There might be a different or a better way to get something done. So always ask and always get a second opinion. Let's go ahead now. We just looked at health. Let's take a look at wealth. We have Stargate Heart. Let's pull up the identification. We'll talk a little bit about this. So wealth is resources, life, purpose, and career. And Stargate to me is an opportunity to get more quickly from point A to point B. It says heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. So this is both about giving and receiving. So for instance, many of you know I'm in the process of looking for a new place, but I donated some stuff to charity because it was going to be easier and it felt right, and it could happen a lot faster for me. So that's an example of giving and trusting in the universe that when it's time to purchase something again, it's sort of like, well, when I can give, I give, and when I'm ready to receive, hopefully I can receive. So give when you can. That's what this is about. If you're in a position of power, you could also be in a place where you're making sure that you're giving raises, promotions, and just validation for a job well done. And also just, even if you're not in a position of power, but you just experience something really cool, like a growth opportunity, just say thanks. Like, thank you so much for trusting me. I'd love to do more of this. Starting with a thank you is good. Following then up with a request, it's more powerful because you've opened their heart. And that is one of the best messages that I ever got from an archangel. It was Uriel. Uriel came through and said, say thank you more. And it was specifically in how I could deal with archangel energy, because what Uriel was conveying is generosity, not just generosity, but gratitude. Gratitude, it improves your attitude, it improves your frequency. And by saying thank you and I love you and I appreciate this, your heart melts, you're more open to the opportunities, and the angels can work with you even more. God in the universe, whatever you consider source or higher power, can work with you more. So gratitude is so powerful, and it can open up opportunities in career, money, and partnership. And that really is, my folks, where the power is this month, because it's the two are crossing. So even if you're someone who likes to work on your own, partnership plays a role. You're still working and doing something for others. So it's about saying thank you to the people that have allowed you to get where you're at. So it could be your supporters, it could be your customers. There could be a partnership where they can take it to the next level and distribute it for you. Just in general, this isn't about doing it solo this month. You can go so much further with the power of two or the power of four. This is a time to lean into that. New work, new opportunities, new partnerships. Let's break this down now into three major categories. For those of you that have a job, for those that might be job seeking, and then I kind of group together those that are retired or students because your focus isn't on work, but I see a little overlap there. So we're going to start off with those that are currently employed. You've done a good job, really. Like, these two cards wouldn't come together in tandem if you weren't. Now, whether you're getting recognized is a whole other ball of wax, but what we see here is a job well done, and some people are seeing that work. And I want you to continue to focus on the quality of the work product and also the partnerships. That will get you, that'll open so many doors. Let's just put it that way. Word of mouth is working in your favor. Also, just word of mouth is working. So always speak and act with integrity and strategically. Some of you are frustrated because you wish you had more power or control. I feel like you have a chance to navigate and create that and set it into motion. So I wouldn't say it if I didn't see it. Try it. The position here, this is still a management position or a power position. It just takes longer to get there than you might have expected. So are you patient and are you willing to wait? That's the question from Spirit. The one thing I would definitely do is get things in writing, get a contract in place. But if you're ready to make that happen, I do see it in the cards. This is a power card. This is a power card. This is a creative card. And it's just about being strategic and thinking to yourself, can I wait that long? If not, there may be doors that are opening elsewhere. And I like the general financial vibe this month for everybody, not just for those that are working. I would love to see you to 8, 9, or 10 of Pentacles. So again, just don't overspend this month. And look for areas where you might be able to get a little bit more. Are you undercharging? Are you over-delivering? Is there anywhere where there's an efficiency that's being lost a little bit? That's it. Otherwise, it looks great, folks. It's a really good month overall. There could be a cause to celebrate. Looks like people are ready to receive something. You might be holding on to something way too long. So for those of you that are self-employed, this is perfectionist energy coming through. The truth of the matter is people like it however it is. So I'm with you on that. Like I'm a recovering perfectionist, but because I've done so much on the internet for so long, it's never gonna be exactly perfect. You have to give the best you can at any given time. And I've learned that is enough. It's more about making a real heartfelt connection and delivering it in a way that's easy to digest and understand. So if you're a writer, an artist, a business development person, whatever, it feels like you are like 98.9% of the way there. And that last 1.9%, whatever it was, I lost the math, 1.1%. It doesn't matter. Like, let it go. You're very, very close to the finish line. And that's all I have to say on that. Okay, let's go ahead now and shift the focus to those that are seeking work. If you're job seeking, it's a great month. You can make it happen. It feels like for some of you, there's frustration, like something that you're looking at with respect to compensation. You're like, but this is a pretty good offer, the 7 of Pentacles. There is room to negotiate, however. So you might be able to get 10, 20% or just a little bit more, but be reasonable with that. That's the one piece of advice that I would have on that. And then when you're looking at contracts, also ask questions, get a lawyer for sure to look at that. Moving, traveling, and going beyond the original conception of an idea or whatever it is, whatever the net is that you're casting out there. Go bigger. That's the main message here, is go bigger. The way that you can find this is through existing friends or through word of mouth. So you either can sort of like, if you're on LinkedIn or a job site, you might know someone. You could then ask them, hey, could you reach out to the hiring manager? Like, see if there's an in. That's going to be a lot better. This is also like networking events and conferences and seminars and things like that. And then make sure that you're sticking around afterward to talk to people. The good news here is ultimately things do come into view. Just the speed is either quicker or slower, and it's unexpected. You also are being encouraged, if you want, to do your own thing. Empress energy, even the maiden energy here, the Stargate, there's a way that you might be able to take it further, farther, faster yourself. But I like what I see, and I like this at the center. This is an offer. But it's coming from a friendly sort of encounter. So you might have a call or a Zoom meeting where you just strike it, an instant sort of like rapport, or it comes from friends and family. Okay? If you are retired, then there's so much energy around what you've put into the world here. So for some of you, this is connecting with family or children, putting a little bit more time in that. For the rest of you, though, this is saying, I want to see what else is out there. I want to call the shots. I want to pull the strings. I also want to focus a little bit on my own things, creating something that you care about. I love it. There's a lot of travel energy here. So it's either reaching out, like remotely, connecting with people from different parts of the world with like-minded sort of individuals. And by the way, she has a shell on her throat chakra. I'll bring that up in a second. But it's also kind of saying, I'm willing to go the distance. I'm also willing to travel. I just noticed this detail here. So really closely, we can see that shell on her throat. It reminds me a little bit of the Little Mermaid. Focusing on speaking up and then taking back control and saying, this is what I want. There's a lot of shells on this, a lot of snails. So timing is everything, actually, when it comes to putting whatever it is out there that you want to see happen. For students, it's looking pretty good. Ace of Pentacles, you're on the right track. Some of you want to start your own business. I like that as well. There are a lot of sort of outreach cards here with the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups. So it's not just about doing your own thing. It's doing something that has the capacity to affect the world in a better way. And it's also about opening up and helping underserved or underrepresented groups, because the Seven of Pentacles is developmental and it's about healing and creating sometimes where there was a lack. And I love that. That's great. Make sure that you're not overextending yourself when it comes to how much you're having to pay for tuition. There might be a need to sort of slow down or work and go to school. A lot of non-traditional sort of approaches here. But overall, the main thing here is strategy. Take time to really decide what it is that you're trying to do, and make sure that your internships, your job, your experiences are all aligning to be strategic in the long run. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at love. In the area of love, we have the Angel of Balance. I love that. In tarot, this would simply be Temperance, right? Because the Temperance angel has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, and also the 2 cups in front of her, so that she can basically say, let's make sure there's give and take. And I think that's the main takeaway there. When we're looking at the other card that would connect to balance, it would be Justice. Because this card was reversed, it could be saying for some of you, it's okay to walk away, it's okay to separate or to go in a different path or direction. And that's important when it comes to relationships. So have boundaries, say no, and if some of you are separating, getting a divorce, or moving in a new path, you're perfectly aligned to what's necessary to create the stability that I saw on that table that is the Four of Wands. So by getting out of one sort of thing that isn't enough, you might be able to get into something that's going to be the sweet spot in the long run. Let's focus on 3 categories: those in a relationship, those looking, and those that are single. If you're in a relationship, it looks great, folks. For the most part, it looks pretty good. This can be birth, so pregnancy or a birth. This can also be, for many of you, saying, I want to take it to the next level. Maybe it's been a long-term relationship, and this is a marriage proposal. This is marriage. This is a proposal. This is pretty good. The main thing for many of you is just to think, like, is this where I see myself and who I see myself with in the long run? So it's asking you to be strategic in your answer. Take time if you need it. That's one of the things with, I'm all for a romantic proposal, but not if it's a pressure sort of thing where it's in front of a big group and the person feels like they have to say yes or have to say no. You can say, let's talk later. I mean, I feel like that's not the way to propose. Unless the person put out there that they want this big gesture. It should be a conversation between two people, and it's okay if the person says, this is so important, give me 24 hours, we're gonna spend the rest of our lives together. I feel like there's something there, especially when I was feeling all the tension here. Just have conversations before that proposal, so there's not a big surprise. It's almost just like the final sort of gesture to make it official. Especially if you've been together a long time, it's not a big deal at that point. There's something around that. Don't pressure each other. It should be easy, and it should be you should know the answer before you ask it. And if you don't pressure the person. That's what I'm getting. And if you're in the position of feeling pressured, it's okay to say, I don't know today, or I'm not ready for this, or, let's talk later. But I think this is, I don't know why, but I feel like that's what Spirit's kind of downloading. So I'm going to share it with you. I don't second guess it when I receive it. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. In current relationships, some of you are just still in that sweet spot where it's like you're getting to know each other. So if you're in love, enjoy this. It comes through for a reason. The Three of Cups is a chance to say, we're feeling one another out, we're figuring out what feels right, and we're having fun with the process of just getting to know one another, getting to know each other. So have fun. Make sure you're making time for one another too. This is about, having date nights, whether you've been in a relationship for 10 years or 10 months, it's making sure that you're having fun. Of course, this can also represent third parties. Some of you might be in more complicated relationship structures where there's two or more partners, and we can see all of these hula hoops. And it's really in this particular situation about making sure that you're uncomplicating this as much as possible, saying, these are the expectations, these are the rules. And as a reader, I try to kind of read in bigger terms now because I know that there are relationships with three or more people. When it comes to that, though, I will say there is a tug of war based on like making sure that everybody feels like they have a seat at the table. And I did see the table that was lopsided. And these are two of the strongest cards in the major arcana, the Chariot and the Empress. And so it could be hard for two strong personalities to be in a bigger relationship like that. Let's see what else. It also feels like some of you are ready to expand the family, maybe expand the relationship. You might also be ready to move. So having these big conversations about the future are going to be important. What I love is you don't have to fit anyone else's mold. There's a lot of friendship and camaraderie. There's a lot to laugh and love, about in this relationship. And when you can figure out the give and take, you can both get what you want. That's going to be the dance that is love, right? So make time for that. Shifting to those that are looking for love. Can you find it? Absolutely. I feel it might start as a friendship first. This is friendship. Love comes later. So you might already know the person. That's the interesting thing. So if you're looking for love, someone could be, we saw this sort of energy of separation. Someone could be recently separated and you've always wanted a chance to connect with them. Take it slow. Make sure also that you're the one initiating. This is like the game of telephone, the Three of Cups. So if you really want to talk to someone, just go straight and talk to them. I remember like back in school when it'd be like, well, you want me to ask this person out and all of this, and sometimes it would just go awry. So best that you're the voice. We especially see that here with the High Priestess. Use your voice. Don't be afraid to speak out, because nobody can speak better about intentions or ideas than you can, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. What's challenging or blocking it right now? Some of you are in the throes of a move or a life change. Some of you are really focused on getting to this, which is starting a family, starting a life. I'm all for that. I love that you're clear on it. I think the important thing here is not to rush getting to know and getting to love. Those components have to be there, and then everything has its way. I think what you can really focus on right now is saying to God, universe, higher guides, and higher self, just saying, this is what I'm looking for. Help me get out of my own way and make it clear beyond a shadow of a doubt when I run across that individual. And then let it go. Let it go. and then know that you've done everything that you can to create that synchronicity. I do feel like you're ready, just don't rush things. That's the main thing that's coming through time and again. And both for existing and new relationships, it shouldn't be too much work. All relationships are work, but you shouldn't have to force. There's something about the timing or the agreement or whatever. It should just be easy in that respect, okay? If you're single and happy, people are coming to you. Look at all this love and support. So this is also true of my retired people out there I just feel like you're the point of reference, or the matriarch or patriarch or wise one, the wise salt. This is what it's about. You can really put yourself out there in a way where I feel like even if you're retired, people want to come to you for sage advice. So you could be in a place where if you want to turn a new corner in your life, you could find yourself as a therapist, a healer, or just someone who has a lot to offer the next generation. So if you want to lean into that, please do. Other things that I'm seeing with respect to those that are single and happy, it's saying in this part of your life, really focus on making sure that you know and you can see that you are complete. Healing of the inner child is coming through, forgiving parents, or healing familial ancestral energy, that's also coming through loud and clear. Whatever you really want to set into motion, it's going to happen, possibly faster than you anticipate. So that message comes through even clearer for those that are single and happy. And just create the balance that you've always been seeking in your life. Don't be surprised if people are knocking on the door or want to be part of your dance card. It feels like whether you want it or not, love, friendship, partnership, people, they're knocking on the door. All right, let's go ahead and see what Destiny has in store for you. We have the Bobcat Spirit. The card was reversed. Let's read it here, and it says, life is a mystery. Someone likes Madonna on this one. Like a prayer is what that's from. So don't underestimate the power of prayer and intention. And of course, we've got the High Priestess here. We have that conch shell, or that snail shell on her throat chakra, and it's about speaking it into reality. Until you speak it, until you speak it with clarity, vision, and belief. Belief is the most important thing, and faith. It's going to take longer to happen. So the most important thing you can do, the thing that will speed it up and give you the Bobcat spirit energy, is faith, vision, and belief. So focus on that this month, and then the sky is the limit. Now let's go into the sun, rising, and moon sign messages and give this a little bit more focus and clarity. What a beautiful and powerful reading, by the way, so far. It's always exciting when it's just a lot of fun energy overall. Birthing, creating, believing. All right, sun, rising, moon. Sun, rising, and moon. And we did get justice reversed, just like I talked about here with the angel of balance, which could be temperance or justice. Let's begin first with sun sign messages. It's freeing yourself, freeing your mind, freeing your energy. The Eight of Swords is a card sometimes where you're being asked not to look at what's in black and white, not what's in front of you, but to go inward. So any of the blindfolded cards, Two of Swords, Eight of Swords, it isn't going to be obvious to everyone else. It may not be in front of you, but it is within. This is also a card of freeing yourself from the prisons that we create. So this can be a card where you paint yourself into a corner with words, with actions, etc. But notice how this bird cage is opening up. So in all of the Eight of Swords cards, including the traditional illustration, you're not literally in a prison. It's more a prison of thought, imagination, or what others want you to do. So this is a month to break free of limiting thoughts and ideas, to open yourself to the possibilities, and to see beyond either what mom, dad, teacher, or society has expected of you, and also see beyond your own wildest expectations, because the firmament is bigger than you could ever imagine, and it's just about opening yourself up to the possibilities, okay? So there's something bigger or better than you currently see. Don't let this moment in time define everything else, okay? Life is a mystery. Pray, put that intention out there, things will start to open up. Let's move on to rising and ascendant, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So I may pull the traditional card here in just a moment, but let's look at this one for what it is. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of learning, eventually leading to a mastery of some sort of a skill or an idea. But she's really taking her time, and she's creating something that will one day constitute her freedom. This moth or butterfly is going to give her the wings with which she can fly and move beyond something. I'm going to pull the card while we're talking. But the Eight of Pentacles is just that. It's skills, knowledge, it's understanding. And take your time. Don't rush through these things. Really putting the finishing touches is one of the elements of the Eight of Pentacles that we see both in this card and we see here. He's taking his time. She's taking her time. He's putting it all together in a way that will give him resources, abilities, skill set. And that's going to help you fly to the next level. The butterflies that I've been feeling the whole reading, it's all in this card. It's saying, can I do it? You can do it. When you actually just kind of have that trust fall moment and believe in yourself, your wings will fly. There's a lot of wings in this deck here too, and you're going to be able to go beyond your expectations. Okay? Let's take a look now at the moon sign message. We have justice reversed. This is the balance that I saw lacking at the beginning. It's also coming through here, and this is a chance for you to reclaim or establish or somehow deal with the lack of the balance. When this card is reversed, when justice is upside down, it's basically saying, I no longer want to do that. I'm willing and ready to say a firm and clear no. No is a statement, it's a command, it's clear, it's really powerful. Say it if you need to. It's goodbye. So if something no longer serves you, this is the equivalent of quitting, giving notice. It's divorce. It's saying that I need to separate myself from this so that I can find something that can provide the balance, the support, everything that we see here in the Four of Wands. So the first step for many of you is releasing something else. And it's clear, it's concise, it's to the point. It's also getting your head out of the clouds here because we see her up in the clouds. The reversal of this is bringing it down to earth, grounding it, and basically saying, not only am I clear on this, but this is how I'm going to do it. She's done the research, she's strategized, she's clear on all of that. And it's also bringing justice where there may be injustice, okay? And that, my friends, is bringing us now to the final question and final card. This is a chance for you to ask something that I haven't had a chance to look at just yet. So let's give the cards a shuffle and see what Spirit has to say to your question. Four of Swords in reverse, letting go. But also, for some of you, this is showing the speed with which change is happening is faster again than you expect. When this card is reversed, you hardly have time to sleep because you're working really hard or because something's expected overnight. You can do it. The main thing here is to make sure that you're not constantly burning the candle at both ends. Some of you have sacrificed sleep too long, and it's saying make sure that once you get through whatever it is you're doing, you take a vacation, you take a personal health day. Even if someone is normally not inclined to approve it, you need it. So by whatever means necessary, create the necessary balance in your life for sure. Time heals just about everything. And so be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that in time, everything is going to work out. Finally, and most importantly with this particular card, it's saying focus on your dreams. Focus on the subtle messages that are coming through when you create some quiet time. That's why meditation and dreams and sleep are so important, because it gives us a time to decompress, to tune in, and to just basically breathe a little bit and hold space for the changes that definitely want to present themselves for you this month. And we can see all of those angel wings here. So Spirit's guiding you, but it's saying you got to slow down so it can have your back and be in your corner. And that's everything for this month. Beautiful messages across the board, Leo. My pleasure and my honor to be able to read for you today. If you enjoyed this, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. It's a great way for me to know that it makes a difference, but also for other people to discover the messages as well. So thank you in advance. You can also join me on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, no extra characters or numbers. A lot of times there's imposters out there. And to that end, make sure that if you do see someone trying to message you or offer something elsewhere, you know it's not me. Block, report, and let me know about it as well. If you want to give back, you can do it right here on YouTube through super stickers, super chat, and also through memberships. And thank you in advance for doing that. And if you ever have any doubt of where to follow me on social media, you can go to my official website for more information. In case you were wondering when I post videos, I do it every Monday, Thursday, and Friday, unless I announce otherwise on my community tab. Like clockwork, just about every Sunday, I am here at 9:15 a.m. So you can count on that, and you can tune into a live stream if you'd like to. And you can also check out my daily card readings as well. And that, my friends, brings us to a close. So I just want to say thanks for your love, for your support, and I wish you all the best in the month ahead. Take care.